Ambassador Kelvin stood in the obsidian hall of the Zrath High Command, his 6 arms folded in diplomatic patience. The war had raged for 3 cycles now, consuming resources and lives across 7 star systems. The Galactic Council had sent their finest negotiators, their most decorated peacekeepers, their wisest philosophers. All had failed. The Zrath were a warrior species, apex predators who'd clawed their way to spaceflight through blood and conquest. Their empire spanned 40 worlds, each taken by force. They respected only strength, only power, only the willingness to inflict pain. Another diplomat, General Krax growled, his mandibles clicking with amusement. The Council sends us another talker. Have you come to bore us into surrender? Kelvin's translator chirped. I have come to end this war, General. But I've learned from previous failures. This time, I brought someone the Council suggested. Oh. Krax leaned forward on his war throne, interested despite himself. And who might that be? My bodyguard. The Zrath warriors in the chamber erupted in clicking laughter. A bodyguard? The Council had sent a diplomat with a single guard to end a war. Show us this mighty warrior, Krax demanded, his 4 eyes gleaming with predatory amusement. The chamber doors opened. Sergeant Michael Davidson walked in. He was small by Zrath standards, barely reaching the chest height of the average warrior. No natural armor plating, no claws, no fangs, no venom sacs. Just a human male in light combat gear, carrying what appeared to be a primitive kinetic weapon. The laughter intensified. This? Krax stood, his 3-meter frame towering over the human. This soft-skinned creature is your protection. I could tear him apart with one hand. Davidson didn't flinch. His eyes, cold and gray as a winter storm, met the general's without a trace of fear. You could try, he said simply. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. Something in those 2 words, in that flat, matter-of-fact tone, made the laughter die. Krax descended from his throne. You dare challenge me, little mammal? I am Krax the Render, slayer of the Korthan champions, destroyer of the Vex fleet. I have killed more beings than you have years of life. Davidson's expression didn't change. I've read your file, General. Impressive record. But you've never fought a human. Because humans are weak. Krax roared. Your species has no claws, no armor, no natural weapons. You are prey animals who stumbled into the stars. We're persistence hunters, Davidson corrected. And we've been at war since before we discovered fire. Your species fought for resources and territory. We fought for ideas. For concepts. For religions and philosophies and lines on maps that didn't exist. We've genocided our own kind over skin color. We've killed millions over economic theories. He took a step forward. You think you're warriors? General, my species turned warfare into an art form while we were still hitting each other with rocks. We've spent 10,000 years perfecting the science of killing. We've built weapons that can crack planets. We've engineered diseases that can sterilize entire biospheres. We've created artificial intelligence whose only purpose is to calculate more efficient ways to end life. Another step. You fight wars over territory. We fight wars and then write poetry about them. We immortalize our battles. We build monuments to our dead. We pass down stories of our conflicts for generations. War isn't just what we do, General. It's who we are. Krax's warriors shifted uneasily. The human's voice never rose, never wavered. He spoke of atrocities the way others might discuss weather. But here's what makes humans special, Davidson continued. We're really, really good at stopping. At choosing not to fight. Because we've seen what happens when we don't. We've walked through the ashes of our own cities. We've counted the bodies of our children. We've stood in the aftermath of our fury and realized that we'd gone too far. He stopped an arm's length from Krax. So the Galactic Council didn't send me here to protect Ambassador Kelvin, General. They sent me here to protect you. Protect me? Krax's laugh was uncertain now. From Earth, Davidson said quietly. See, we've been watching this war. 3 cycles, you said. We ended our last world war in 4 years, and that was with primitive technology. We lost 60 million people, and we learned. We learned that we never, ever want to fight like that again. He pulled out a small data tablet. But we also learned how to win. I have clearance to show you something, General. This is Earth's 3rd fleet. They're currently in orbit around Zrath Prime. Your homeworld. Krax's eyes widened as he looked at the display. 73 warships, each larger than his flagship. That's impossible. Our sensors. Your sensors only detect what we allow them to detect. General, we have 47 fleets. We've positioned them around every major Zrath world, every military installation, every colony. We did this 3 weeks ago. You never knew we were there. Davidson swiped the tablet. These are antimatter bombs planted in your orbital infrastructure. This is a neural virus tailored specifically to Zrath physiology, ready to deploy through your water systems. This is a list of every military commander in your empire, their daily routines, their families' locations, their security protocols. The tablet clattered on the obsidian floor. We could end your entire civilization before your breakfast gets cold, General. Not because we want to. Not because we're angry or threatened. But because you're making the Galactic Council nervous, and they asked us to handle it. Krax stood frozen, his warriors equally still. So here's what's going to happen, Davidson said. Ambassador Kelvin is going to present peace terms. They're going to be fair, generous even. You're going to accept them. And then humans are going to go back to what we do best, not fighting. We're going to return to our corner of space, tend our gardens, write our poetry, and try to be better than our history. He picked up the tablet. Or you can refuse. You can kill us both right here, right now. I won't stop you. But I promise you, General, if you do, there won't be a Zrath left alive 72 hours from now. Not because we're cruel. But because we're really, really good at war, and we've spent 10,000 years trying not to be. The silence stretched for an eternity. Finally, Krax spoke, his voice barely a whisper. What are your terms? Ambassador Kelvin stepped forward, a peace treaty materializing from his diplomatic pouch. 3 minutes later, the war was over. As they left the chamber, Kelvin leaned toward Davidson. Was any of that true? The fleets, the bombs, the virus? Davidson's expression never changed. Does it matter? They believed it. That's not an answer, Sergeant. No, Davidson agreed. It's not. Behind them, General Krax the Render sat on his war throne, staring at the closed doors, and wondered what kind of species humans truly were. A species that could threaten extinction without raising their voice. A species that could describe apocalypse like a grocery list. A species that chose peace, but never forgot how to wage war. The kind of species you never, ever wanted to fight.